In this tutorial, what we're going to do is go through an example of adding a library to our code in C++. Using libraries is helpful so that you don't have to rewrite code from scratch every time. Instead, if you have some functionality that you seem to be using over and over again, you can save that and then refer to it later. Or even better, certain functionality is so common that somebody else has written a library for it, and we can just refer to that. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So I have a GitHub repo that I've created, and I'm just going to clone it down. And as you can see, we just have the README file, and I'm going to go in here and create our new C++ file. Instead of writing out the comment header from scratch, I'm just going to go to a previous example and bring it up, and then just copy it and paste it over so that I don't have to redo a whole bunch of work, and then just change the items I need. Before I change them, I'm going to just do a save as. And the program I'm going to call Floor because we're going to be using a library called math, and the particular function in that library is going to be called Floor that we're going to use. So this program uses libraries, and this is the library that we're going to be using, and it's called CMath. Notice that we've actually used it before, and it was to give us the functionality to do power. It also has other functions in there, and we're going to be using the one called Floor today. So I'm just going to put a comment at the beginning of the function. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a float, which is like scientific notation, or a decimal number. It's actually more than really a decimal number. And we're going to just strip off all the decimal portion and return it as an integer. So I'm just going to remove some of these other things, and we're just going to change our print statement. And we're going to use 12.4 as an example at the moment. So just like we used CMath before, CMath has many functions, and the one we're going to be using is this function called floor. And if you enter in a value, it will take the floor, or basically just drop the decimal portion. So you should be left with 12. We save this and run our code. Well, besides the fact that I didn't put a space, it did work. So it took 12.4 and it converted it to 12 for us. So just to prove that this is working and isn't doing like a rounding, I'm going to do 12.9. If it was doing rounding, it should round it to 13, but that's not what this does. And there you go. It converts it to 12 again. So this is how you use other libraries. Like we have been using this library called input-output stream that has been giving us this standard C out and the standard end line. This CMath gives us the functionality to use this function called floor.